Where are we heading now?
We are heading to Viking.
Viking, not the sports cruisers.
Not the sports cruisers, not the safety gear, not the river cruisers, not the cruise liners, but Viking recruitment, not even the football team. That would be an American football team where they use their hands to move the ball. No, this would be a company based in Dover called Viking, originally called Viking Recruitment, and they're now Viking Maritime Group, which contains Viking Crew, the Maritime Skills Academy, and Chiltern Maritime.
Is this all of it?
And no, not the whole building, but the whole building is here.
Right.
We're apart. We are within this building. This building was built in 1972 as the European headquarters of IBM.
It's quite beautiful, actually.
If you like
Symmetrical.
concrete.
If you like concrete, you'll love this. And we're back between two Yetis. We're on tour. Take it away.
Okay, so here we are in the Solent, because we don't like saying Portsmouth when you're from Southampton. And I'm with...
Sorry, what?
There's a rivalry.
Oh, it's a big rivalry.
There's a rivalry.
Anyway, but all the way from Dover is Matt Yannicka, who is the Managing Director of the Viking Maritime Group.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Drink to
I
that.
don't know why I keep doing cheers with
With
coffee.
coffee.
We cheersed at 9 a.m.
There
this
you go.
morning.
So before we get into a bit of a detail about the MSA, can you paint the picture of how it fits into the Viking Maritime Group for us? Because elsewhere we will also be talking with Chiltern.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Well, what we have is really, and the easiest here is the Viking Maritime Group, formerly known as Viking Recruitment Limited, but we're not really a recruitment company, as you can see from what you're going to see here today. So what we're made up of is 3 businesses. Viking Crew, which Maritime Crew Services, which is our employment, our payroll. We do recruitment, we do travel, so we look after crew, find them, look after them. Maritime Skills Academy, this is one of the centres, the newest centre, MSA Solent, but also in Dover we have the MSA Dover Safety Centre. And what this is about training. Safety training, simulator training, really any types of training for the maritime industry. And the third company, Chiltern Maritime, is where we train young people, medium people, old people, whatever, to become officers, predominantly officers in the Merchant Navy in the UK and the superyacht industry. And we train people from Ireland, from the UK, from New Zealand, to really become the leaders on ships. And together, all the companies work together and really go hand in hand to create the group. So that's where we are now.
So today we're going to be focusing on the MSA. Viking Crew has been going now for over 30 years. When did the Viking Maritime first set up the MSA? How long has that part of the business been together?
So probably about 8 years ago, we were asked to facilitate training. So a lot of our clients were like, can you find us this? Can you find us that? Can you go and use a college? Can you go and use a university? Can you use a training centre? And we were like, yeah, okay, no problem. And we make it all happen for their people. And it was like, well, we could do some of that training ourselves. So we had spare capacity in our offices. A lot of it's classroom-based training. So we just started bringing in consultants, putting the courses on. And really then, from there, it was to how much training we could find elsewhere. And it was like, well, we've got a lot of need. Why are we sending it everywhere else? You know, and as a family, we said, well, why don't we build a training centre, as you do?
Yeah, because how much is a training centre?
Yeah, not cheap.
How many millions?
How many millions? The one in Dover, the whole centre with the lifeboats, with the pool, with the fire ground, all the equipment was probably close to 6 million.
That's a massive investment for a small family.
It was
company.
a big investment, and we're still investing now in it, and it's costing us still now. But
And you're a family company?
Yes. So chairman is Dieter, my father, our father.
No,
Yes, our father.
You are in Dover.
Well, that's because there's 3 brothers. There's myself, Mark, and Stuart. Mark is a director.
You
looks
all
after-
work in the company?
Yes. Yeah. Mum did a lot. She is still a director. Was the old finance director, but but no longer. She just keeps an eye on our expenses and all that kind of stuff. So,
Oversight and governance.
Oversight and governance. Even better, isn't it, for a mother?
That's what a very good mother should do.
There you go. And then, yeah, my wife's in the company. She works, and my sister-in-law looks after all our social media. So yeah, just a small little family business in Dover.
But more than about 70 people now in total.
Yeah, all over the world. Well, you know, there's probably about 50 of us in Dover. Down here, Chiltern, there are 8, but then within MSA Solent, there's probably another 8. Fort Lauderdale, we have a lovely young lady working there out of our new office.
And then in Auckland?
Auckland, we have Andrew and 2 others.
Wow.
And then Manila, we have a small team. And then where we do I talked about employment and payroll, we have what we call a global office in Guernsey, where a lot of that's facilitated. So yeah, we've got places all over the world.
How do you find it working with family? Get the close
He can't say on camera.
I love them.
No, I've worked with family most of my life, and I genuinely think you can get more done because you all work hard when you have that.
I think we're quite a dysfunctional family in the fact that we don't get on about anything. But I think that's really built the company, because if we all got on, where would it go?
Creative tension, I think that's what they call it. Creative
One of
tension.
the reasons Mr. Hickling joined us actually and helped us out was really, I would say, the whole interaction of myself and my father. You know, coming to the more mature years and the business really accelerating, and what are the new plans, what are the new ideas. This whole project, which is massive, going into training, new projects going forward. We had different ideas of how that went, and I think our ideas weren't wrong and they are both valid. It was just how do you make them come together, and that's where certain people have helped us.
So it's really good to see this happen, and it's particularly really good to be standing where we are today, because this is, you know, this was a vision that your father had, and then you and the rest of the team wanted to bring to fruition. The original idea was to do it in Dover, but actually the more we looked at it, and the fact is that Viking has a significant partner in this, which is Wärtsilä, used to be known as Transas. They make all the software and hardware systems to build the simulator, and they wanted to partner with Viking because Viking is an independent and trusted brand, and what they wanted was to say, we make the hardware and software that does this, and Viking deliver the training. So that's where we bring the MSA in. And the MSA is the, if you like, the training brand of the Viking Maritime Group. This is the second MSA centre. The reason I sound a little bit passionate about it is because these guys had me responsible for project delivery here. So making this thing happen or not happen was going to be my fault. And we were very lucky and very fortunate, partly because we had a really nice, big, long contract with a major client, Virgin. There's the Scarlet Lady behind us. And Virgin are here today training. We've captured some of that on film. They very kindly let us do that. And we had Sir Richard Branson come and open this facility 3 weeks ago, cut the ribbon for it for an official opening. Yeah. And so that's quite a big thing for, again, that's small really family company. So I think we can see that this is a company which bats above its weight. And that's significant. The question then is, because it's a restless organisation, what do you see, Matt, as the future, not just for Viking Maritime, but also within the superyacht industry, and you know, in the UK with the context of you know, imminent changes? Where do you see it all going?
Well, I think the thing is about this kind of place, this will be not new to a lot of people that work on superyachts, because a lot of them may have come from the commercial industry, they may have seen it, but to a lot of people who grew up on yachts, I doubt they've probably ever really been in a simulator centre like this. And we have built it to cater for the superyacht industry as well. We as a business, we really concentrate on the cruise, the superyacht and the ferry. We're a passenger carrying ship company, if that makes sense. So what you saw and what's been built really is for superyachts as well as cruise ships. It's all about the software, whether we can interchange the hardware, and we've already got a couple of quite big private yachts really interested in using the facility based on their own vessels. Where it's going, I mean, what you've got to remember is ships are assets, even if they're commercially run or privately run. They cost a lot of money.
Assets or liabilities?
Well, technically
they're
they're
both, no,
yeah.
assets. And actually, some of the courses we're looking at putting on for some yacht clients is asset protection courses.
Yeah.
That's how they look at it.
Yeah.
And so if they can bring their teams in and train and protect that asset, keep it safe, stop it from any, you know, that's what this is here for.
Because in many ways, like the aviation industry has done, like
Oh,
they've been doing
massively.
simulators forever, right?
And
It's
they're
like
regularly
you
in
train on it,
simulators.
and then I would imagine that something like this becoming routine for the yachting industry just lowers insurance claims. You can now go back and review,
Yes.
like just like the landing on the Hudson. And then when the pilot, you know, they kind of went back to the simulator and they put it in review and they said, could he have done anything differently?
Yep.
And then it turned out, no, he couldn't have done anything differently.
Well, what you see here, everything is videoed, is recorded, sound, and it's all brought back into rooms. It's all gone back through debriefs. How did you do this? Why did you do that?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's not about telling people they're wrong and they're bad. You know,
Right.
how do you improve? How do you get better?
Right.
And the bits you don't see are what the guys create, the scenarios, the courses,
So cool.
how the ships operate. I mean, this is way above me and how it all works, but I mean, you've been in there, you saw them coming into New York with a large ship, you know, you've got the engine room going off, the alarms, you know, you've got virtual machinery spaces. All these can all work together as well. So you'll have engineers, you have deck officers, you've got your electricians, you know. This is about guys and girls working together as a team on a ship. And let's be honest, some of these yachts are ships.
Yeah.
You know, they're bigger than some of the cruise ships we even deal with now.
It
So,
was quite incredible being in there and the breadth of it all, and then everything they were doing. It was, you didn't notice any changes because the boat's so big. It's not really.
yeah. And did you see the bridge wings? I mean, that is cool.
So in there, they've got the like glass bottoms
down
Yeah.
downside of the boat.
So you're actually looking down on the side of the ship, you've got the waves coming past, but what's important for these guys is the docking. So when they're coming in
Yeah.
into the pier, you know, and alongside that they know what they're doing, then you've got the visuals back behind you, so you can look all the way down the aft end of the ship. I mean, it's really cool stuff. It's cutting edge
was actually, yeah.
we've done, and as Ken said, you know, it's
Wow.
it's a great project with Wärtsilä, formerly Transas. You know, without them, we couldn't have done this. They see this as a real milestone for them in what they've produced and what they've created. And rather than it being a education centre, this is a business to business, B2B. This is high end training and bringing teams together. You know, you've walked around. It's not just a training centre. This is, you know, it's quite a cool place. People can hang out, they can eat, drink, have meetings, have presentations. It's really very different.
So cool.
So yeah,
It's
we're
got-
really proud.
It's got that studenty vibe.
So, Matt, it's time for you to take the Between Two Yetis quickfire challenge. Okay, first question. Wine or beer?
Wine.
Football or rugby?
Football.
Solent University or Southampton University?
Neither.
Yeah, you gotta choose. You gotta choose. Come on now.
Solent.
Lloyd's or MCA?
Ooh. Good go MCA.
New build or refit?
Beautiful new builds.
Canoe stern or axe bow?
Axbound.
And do you walk to work or do you take a packed lunch? Guess them every time. It's a trick question.
Neither.
There we go.
Thank you, sir.
Good. That's you done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate
As she said, this is what the airline should be
Well,
doing.
we have our friend and neighbors at
Gulfstream.
Gulfstream.
Coming up in Chapter 4, we visit Wilson Halligan to meet the people responsible for finding the crew to run these super yachts. Join us next time on Between Two Yetis on tour.